Hiya, hiya. Is this a tweet? Well, how many people you know tweet on other platforms besides Instagram, besides Twitter, besides Facebook and YouTube? Bird just flew away. He's heard enough. Notice I got my birdie hairdo? It fits, doesn't it? Isn't that great? Yeah, just right there. Well, you probably wonder how you train a bird, and the way that you get the bird to pay attention and to respond to what you want is to give him an example of what happens if he doesn't behave. That's what you do. And the bird just kind of gets the idea. That's the same thing I do with cockroaches. You take one and you nail it to the wall, and all the other roaches understand, and they head for the refrigerator. Of course, mine live in there. I'm just joking, I'm not serious, and I don't have bird poop in my cheesecakes. It's only a gag, come on. Geez, you guys take everything seriously. I don't blame you. How about the French, the Parisians? Women stand peeing in France. Now, don't tell Spirit Airlines that, or they'll have a standing, well, first of all, they have standing room only. That'll be a standing charge. You know, the airlines are so sleazy. They're now charging you to pick a seat. I mean, what are you going to do, stand during the whole thing? They're charging you for the overhead bin. Now, that's another cost, is if you have to carry on and you want to put it up there, you pay. If you want to put your butt on a seat, you pay. Unbelievable how they're charging for everything. If you take your shoes off, probably there's a charge. As I've often said about Spirit Airline, which started this craziness, that the toilet paper is one ply. This is unbelievable how the airline industry doesn't stop. Nobody stops them. Nobody says anything. Nobody says you become the Greyhound of the skies. And even Greyhound is getting luxurious now. I mean, Greyhound, you got a lot of leg room. They don't charge you extra for it. The train's the same way. You can put an overhead bin. You carry your bags on. Nobody says anything to you. But the airlines, oh, that's elegant. You know, it's elegant terrorism is what it is. And then when you go through the security, which is all people who can't find real jobs, frankly, you know, they have the security thing that's going, because I think what happens is some guy had powder in his shoe about 20 years ago. This isn't even not even 9/11. This is before that. And nothing happened to the airplane, but they were blowing them up. Now the people are just shooting in schools. Can you imagine that? Imagine being a teacher. They don't want to be teachers. Nobody wants to go through military training to be a teacher. I mentioned this the other day, I think. You know, I mean, the nuns were military. They were military, and if they didn't need anything, they just whack you with a ruler or the cross. You know, I mean, you would get whacked. That would be the end of your game. And I saw somebody hit a person at school, and they said the kid was autistic, and she was really just shaking him a little. Shaking him. And you can't touch a child, no matter what, anymore, not let alone that kid. But you know, that's a special issue. But I'm telling you, we're in trouble with training kids. They don't train them at home. We don't train them when we have them away from home. And there's just too much foolishness going on. In our industry of radio and television and the media, and what has now become triple platforming, on radio, TV, the internet, now you got to train young people to behave. Not girls with who look like they stepped out of a Victoria's Secret catalog to do the weather. We do that famously in Florida, because nobody's watching the weather. The weather is going to happen anyway. You go, you know, I mean, you drool all over your walker. It's amazing. We can't wait for hurricane season. Why we have a fashion runway at that point. It's amazing. Again, the amazing country that we live in, where everybody is separated, nobody can get together on anything. Well, we got two parties. How do you have 350 million people and only two parties when nobody can get together? Who's getting together? The guys with the money. That's who's getting together. If you have money, you don't have a problem. If you don't have any money, you can't afford the lawyers. And if you don't have any money, you usually sue people who touched you 30 years ago in the wrong place. And find some dirt on someone who has a lot of money. That's so scummy. It's a scummy. Don't you cringe hearing all this stuff on the news every day? And my daughter's visiting here from California. She watched the news in Miami, and she said, God, don't they have anything good to say? And I said, no. They read the police blotter. That's all. That's what they do. Crime and passion. passion and crime. But nobody wants to sit there and do anything really meaningful and positive, like I'm doing. I'm in La La Land. It's the Reynolds Rap on Facebook. It's Joey, the late Joey Reynolds. I did not die, I'm just on later. I'm ahead of my time, so they call me the late Joey Reynolds. I'm actually the before Joey Reynolds. And the afterthought is that I am on YouTube as well, and then tweeting on all media, as you know. So what can I tell you except I'll see you the next visit, and I'm sure I'll have a ration of stuff to share with you, things that are so pleasant and wonderful. And did you see Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood yet with Tom Hanks? I'm still not, I haven't forgiven him yet for the Polar Express, let alone. I'm still working on forgiving him for that role. Hey, it's a Reynolds Rap.